Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Natalie. I am playing this month with the Mother's Day Gnomes. I just love these. Sorry if you heard that bang. I've just had a little break because of people were opening and closing doors. But, it's life. It happens. Anyway, I'm dealing with Mother's Day Gnomes because I love them so much. And they clearly can be used for more than just Mother's Day. So, generally speaking, we have 3 cards from each person. And this month I am solely working on these Mother's Day Gnomes. So hopefully you get 3 little ideas of something to do with these babies, because they are just adorable. I have the Hello Border die. And I am positioning, I've used my card base just to sort of figure out where I want to position this. And I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. And so he's just going to leave a nice hello at the top of my feature panel. And as you can see there, it cuts out beautifully and it's just left a little hole in the middle of the E. So you can see what I'm looking at there. And with my little gnomey and down the bottom. This is just cardstock out of my stash that I'm going to use. I'm going to trim it down to be the background panel. So that's going to be 9.7. I quite often do a little bit more, but this is 9.7 by 14.1. I am also going to do a little bit of embossing on the back of that. This is just going to give my card a little bit extra interest, because sometimes having a panel just that quite so large can be leaving you wanting more. This is just some foam strips out of my stash. I'm going to obviously put it up through my lettering. I shouldn't have done this just yet. I do get, if you're new to my channel, I do get a little bit carried away with myself. But we're going to work around it. I've got black soot, I've got dusty concord and Victorian velvet. I'm going to add a little bit of interest with a sort of a fading up and ombre sort of look to it. So it does have the foam on the back of it. It's not ideal, but we're going to go with the flow and we're going to make it work. I generally go over my sponging 2 times. I find this gives me a better blend, and it also evens out the color on the panel. I've got a little bit of black soot right down the very bottom just for extra depth of color. I quite like. It's quite a contrast. I have used my Victorian velvet going up a little bit just to soften that a little bit, and it will dry and it will dry back nice. I had a little bit of something up the top, so I quickly made sure that my fingers were clean and I cleaned that all off. This is going to be the hand stitching 1 embossing folder. I use this a lot. It is a favorite of mine. There's lots of favorites, let's be honest. This one is very much a favorite. It's very subtle, it's very soft, and it just provides that little bit of extra without being too much. So I've glued that down flat with just some clear glue, some craft tacky sort of glue. Next, I've got the All Occasions sentiment sheets. I have used this so much, and as you can see, there is still so much left in there. I have the hello. So what I'm going to do is just, there's a sentiment here that has you are amazing. So that's what I'm going to use. Just for a nice little, you could use, the straight thing I've got in my head. I have a friend who is lovely and she says hello to you. So you could just do that. You could go, hello beautiful, hello lovely, hello little boy if it was, a baby card. But this is just going to sort of, because it's quite high up, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it quite high up going into the white. This way I didn't have to worry about my ink going too high. I have foam on the back of my little gnome sitting on the couch, and I would adhere him down at the very, very bottom. So he's sort of grounded by the bottom of my panel. The last thing I'm going to do is use a C9 marker. This is a Copic marker, and I'm just going to colour in the very, very bottom. I don't particularly like the white going around images, but this will just help it blend in a little bit, and a little bit of the C9 down on the actual card base. But what you have to do, it's not recommended to use the oxides, so just brush it off. And I have, as you can see there, a very tiny amount has been used. I have the clear crystal mix. This is the shaker mix, but I use them for extra dimension on my card, and I fight with the little darlings to turn them over. But it's all part of the fun and games. So this is going to help fill in that white area without being too much, too standing out too much, a bit too bold, you know what I mean? The last thing I'm going to do is that sentiment. I nearly thought I'd finished. And I'm going to place that right in the middle of, try to place it right in the middle of my hello. I then felt he just needed a little tiny bit more. So I've got a black glaze pen, and this is just going to provide, it's got a little bit more black without being too over the top. And I've just got some dots on either side of my sentiment. And that is my card for today. I hope you're well. I hope you like these little gnome dudes, and yeah, I'll check you. You can check me out next time. Take care. Bye.